In the vast, endless blue of the Atlantic Ocean lies one of history's most enduring mysteries, a disappearance so complete, so absolute, that even today, more than a century later, no wreckage, no debris, not even a single piece of driftwood has ever been found. This is the haunting story of the USS Cyclops, a gigantic American naval ship that vanished in 1918 with 309 men on board, the greatest non-combat loss of life in U.S. Navy history. Settle in, slow your breathing. And let's drift back to a time when the world was at war, the seas were dangerous, and the Bermuda Triangle had not yet earned its name. The USS Cyclops was a beast of a ship, nearly 550 feet long, capable of carrying over 12,000 tons of cargo. Built in 1910, she was designed not for battle but for fuel transport, hauling coal and supplies between naval stations. Her 3 massive boilers rumbled like a heartbeat. Her steel hull was thick enough to plow through storms, and her engines, well, they never failed, at least not until 1918. The Cyclops was commanded by Lieutenant Commander George Worley, a strict, quiet man. Some saw him as disciplined, others as strange, unpredictable, even hostile. But we'll return to him later. It was March 1918. World War I was raging. The United States had joined the fight, and every ship mattered, even fuel ships like the Cyclops. Her mission seemed simple: carry 11,000 tons of manganese ore from Brazil to Baltimore. The ore was heavy, unusually heavy. The ship rode low in the water, groaning under the load, but she was built to handle weight. At least that's what everyone believed. On March 4th, she left the island of Barbados, her final stop before heading north. She sent a simple message to her sister ships: "Weather fair, all well." Those were the last words anyone ever heard from the USS Cyclops. The route from Barbados to Baltimore stretched across the western Atlantic, a region known for sudden storms and unpredictable seas. But on that day, the ocean was calm. Passengers on nearby cargo ships reported the waters smooth as glass. There were no enemy submarines detected, no storms recorded, no distress signals received. It was as if the Cyclops had slipped quietly beneath the surface without a sound, without even trying to call for help. When she failed to arrive in Baltimore, panic spread. Even Admiral William Sowden Sims, commander of U.S. naval forces in Europe, wrote, "I don't know what happened to the Cyclops, but I fear the worst." And he was right. The U.S. Navy launched the largest search operation in its history up to that point. Ships combed the entire route. Planes flew overhead. Telegraph stations listened desperately for any signal, but there was nothing. Families waited at the docks for days, then weeks, then months. Wives held on to hope. Mothers prayed. Children asked why their fathers hadn't come home yet. But the Navy found no oil slick, no floating cargo, no life rafts, nothing. The disappearance was total. It made no sense. Ships simply didn't vanish like that, not something as big as the Cyclops. Here's where the story deepens and the mystery grows darker. Historians and investigators formed several theories, none fully proven. Theory 1, structural failure. Some believe the ship simply broke apart. She was overloaded with manganese ore, far more than usual. The ore could have shifted, causing the ship to tilt, flood, and sink rapidly. But if she sank slowly, the crew would have had time to send a distress signal. So why didn't they? A massive, unexpected wave, hundreds of feet high, could have struck the ship, splitting it in seconds. Rogue waves were not well understood at the time, but sailors had whispered about them for centuries. A wall of water, rising from a calm ocean, striking without warning. If this happened, the ship could have sunk instantly. Theory 3, an enemy attack. During World War I, German U-boats prowled the Atlantic. Some suspected the Cyclops was torpedoed, but German records after the war showed no submarine near the ship's path, and even a torpedo strike would leave floating debris. Still, some historians think a German raider may have sunk her secretly. Here the story takes a strange turn. Reports later revealed that Captain Worley wasn't his real name. He was born Johann Wichmann, a German immigrant. Some crew members claimed he behaved oddly. He carried a riding crop and hit sailors with it. He gave bizarre orders. Some swore he was mentally unstable, and during wartime, having a German-born captain raised suspicion. A theory emerged. Did Captain Worley turn the ship over to Germany? There's no evidence, but some sailors believed it until their dying days. This is the public's favorite. The Cyclops sailed through the region later labeled the Bermuda Triangle, where dozens of ships and planes have vanished. Researchers cite powerful magnetic anomalies, rogue waves, strange weather, underwater methane eruptions. But again, nothing explains the total lack of wreckage. Theory 6, a coal dust explosion. Some engineers think the ship's coal stores may have ignited. A fire in a ship's fuel bunker can burn invisibly for hours, then explode violently. If the hull was weakened, one final shockwave could break her in half. But again, nothing floated. This is rare. Even Titanic left debris. Cyclops did not. In the end, the U.S. Navy concluded, the disappearance of the USS Cyclops remains unexplained. They even added, probably no more bizarre mystery afflicts the annals of the Navy. The families eventually accepted the truth. Their loved ones were never coming home, but not knowing why. That was the true torture. Some waited their entire lives believing the ship might still reappear. In the decades since, two of the Cyclops' sister ships also vanished in nearly the same area, USS Proteus, 1941, USS Nereus, 1941. Both carried heavy ore. Both disappeared without a trace. Three nearly identical ships, gone. The Bermuda Triangle legend grew. Books were written, documentaries produced, scientists debated. But the ocean kept its secret. Even modern deep-sea scanning has never located the wreck. It may be lying somewhere in the darkness, miles below the surface, a silent tomb for 309 souls. And so the USS Cyclops sailed into history, a ghost story of steel and salt water. A reminder that even the strongest machines can vanish, and that the ocean, for all our technology, still holds mysteries we cannot solve. As you rest tonight, imagine the quiet hum of the ship's engines, the gentle roll of waves, and the endless horizon where the Cyclops traveled for the last time. Somewhere out there, beneath thousands of feet of water, she may still be waiting.